Hello once again, and welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Memo. We are happy to be back in the studio, me and Mr. Brodsky, and we have Alex Masados over Zoom over here. We have a bunch of fun stuff to talk about today. The NFL playoffs are here, and we had a really fun and exciting week with all the teams that were trying to get into the playoffs. We talked about them a lot last week, and it was really cool seeing all these people compete, except for one team decided competing wasn't their forte this week. We'll talk about that a lot too. Big stuff there.
Alex, it's good to have you back on the show, man. You were sincerely missed last week.
You were.
Not that Egal didn't do a good job, but
yes.
It's good to have the band back together.
Egal's always welcome.
Thanks,
back.
Guys.
How was Miami?
Happy to be back. Miami was a great time. I'm moving down there in a week.
That would be the move.
That would be awesome. You could hang out with Jimmy. You could hang out with Tua. Trash player.
Yeah, I was chilling with them the whole time. It was sick. They're going to make an appearance on the podcast this year.
That would be awesome.
That would be nice if you went down there for a little business trip and got some
That's right.
Some Memo
always
partnerships.
Being productive.
Yeah, so,
I would guess not much business was getting done that weekend.
Not by me. I was giving people a lot of business. Things are expensive down there.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yep. Everywhere you go in Florida, it's like $50 for a water. But, I think the biggest news show-wise pertaining to us right here is, our pick segment is over. It sadly did not go another week into the playoffs. We went into last week. Alex and Matt tied up, me one game behind. And all we needed was for Kyler Murray to, play in the football game. Gets hurt on the first drive, of course, because why would it go right for me? The 1 week Alex and Matt pick John Wolford, you'd think I would get the benefit there and win. But no, Cardinals don't get it done. Kyler's a softie, has no ankles. And I came in last place, so it's looking like next episode we will be in this room and I will be suffering from the world's hottest tortilla chip. So be on the lookout for that. And it was a fun season. You like to see it come down to the wire. I'll never see you guys again after today. So good luck getting me to eat it. But
get your milk ready.
Yeah.
I think we all learned a valuable lesson this week, and that is one should not be betting against John Wolf.
Look, he's a Jets practice squad hero. He was on the team this year.
Practice squad alum.
Yeah.
He didn't look too
Is
bad.
Is that a little preview for your pick later, Matt? A little foreshadowing?
It's a good point.
Interesting. I didn't realize that I was doing that. But,
I might not even be playing.
Yeah. That might have something to do with it. But, listen, that was a weird game. There was a point where it was John Wolford against who?
Against
Something?
Streveler. Strangler.
Someone I've never heard of.
The
Hashling Slasher.
And, it was so weird seeing those two quarterbacks in the game that meant so much for both teams. And it didn't end up mattering for the Rams because when the Bears lost, the Rams clinched. But the Cardinals needed to win regardless to make the playoffs. And that stretch of time without Kyler Murray definitely seemed to have an effect on the game. And unfortunately, Arizona's missing out on the party.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say I called it, but I did when we spoke about the Cardinals possibly not making the playoffs.
Do you get credit for that when you then pick them to win the game, which would have put them in the playoffs?
That's a good point. But I said
I don't know how that works.
I don't know. You're right. We're not given credit for if the Bengals could possibly win the game. Maybe I shouldn't get credit for not following through.
And we're gonna get to that later. But my guarantee of the Steelers not winning a playoff game is
it's on the line.
It's on big time jeopardy right now.
Yeah. So, I'm going to be eating the chip next week on the show. We're going to have a whole studio set up, 3 cameras, lights, everything, just for this moment, for you to watch me turn red and cry. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun.
We almost had it. It would have been great if the three of us were tied going into the playoffs. But
Yeah, you can't always get what you want, right? Right, Kyler Murray?
I'm
sure
pretty
you wanted
okay with
to
the
play.
result.
But
it sucks for us, Alex, because we don't have a winner. We tied.
I
it's
won.
true.
Okay. That was a fun season.
I think my punishment was it would have been the most painful by far.
I don't know. Richards is up there in terms
The
of
chest
pain.
wax, that's painful.
I've
I
heard
would
it
rather-
really fucking hurts.
Like, if
Like
I
a
got
whole-
my chest waxed, it wouldn't matter.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Mine
but I'm
wouldn't be
hairy
as-
as fuck.
Mine wouldn't be as bad as you either, Alex, but I would rather wax my chest than eat a chip like that. But I don't have the hair that you do. I'm in somewhere in between.
I'm just
the two.
nervous that my stomach is going to burn and I'm going to have holes in the lining.
I mean, it's like
Do
edible.
you have to eat it all at once?
I'm going to eat it all at
Right.
once. I'm not going to...
You're gonna one bite it.
Yeah, I can't... What if it's already, like, hot on the one bite? I'm not going to, like...
Yeah,
I got to
you can't
just take
string
it
it
down.
out.
Yeah, but I'm totally eating, like... I'm drinking a cup of milk before, eating some bananas or some shit. I don't know. I was literally reading, like, what should I eat
Yeah, you
before I
have to
do
do it right. You definitely
Yeah,
have to
because
prepare
people
yourself.
like say like their stomachs have hurt for days because they didn't eat,
Oh my
and I'm like, I'm not messing around. Going to the bathroom will suck. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, Alex. I don't know if waxing your chest would be worse. This seems like it's gonna linger for a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to finish the show. I'm gonna be sitting here and be like,
We have to do it after the show.
Yeah,
think it
maybe
should be the end?
grand finale.
Or
Yeah.
maybe don't even do it on a show night. Just do
it.
An isolated little segment.
I think it'd be funny if I'm answering some questions or if you like make me have to like talk about shit. I
If
feel
you
like it'd be
compromise the episode.
yeah. That's
you
but like
can't-
that's why you do it at the end. Like you find some shit for me to say. I don't know. We'll figure
All right,
that out.
That's true. That's
Yeah. There's not one way to do it. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun though. I'm excited. I think it's good content. I'm gonna die, but it's good content. All right. So we're talking about teams missing the playoffs. We're talking about disappointments, and we're talking about people sucking at what they do, like me picking games. And I think that brings us right into our first segment here, which is the Philadelphia Eagles and what they pulled on Sunday night. Seems to be a big controversy amongst the football world. I, for one, am delighted. I think it was awesome what they did. They kept the New York Giants out of the playoffs because they wanted to put a promising young player into the game and see what he had.
Are we gonna have a real conversation about this, or are we just?
We
gonna
are,
be
but
shitting on the Giants the whole time?
good job. All right, seriously,
Listen.
I know how you guys feel, but
First of all, and this is something that a lot of people have been saying now that ever since the game happened. Like, obviously, the Giants and the Giants fans they don't have a leg to stand on because they went 6-10. The three of us agree to that. I'm sure we all understand. Like, it's not a crime that the Giants are missing the playoffs because of what happened. But I just think that it was a shitty thing for Doug Peterson to do to his own teammate, to his own team, and to the rest of the league, just for when you have everybody going out there playing hard and trying to win games, to just hang your team out to dry like that and basically tell them that we don't really care if you guys win this game or not.
I don't think they should have made it the Sunday Night Football. It doesn't change what they did. It's just like, why put that game in the spotlight? Like there wasn't another game.
Rams Cardinals should have been the
Yeah, that had way more. Like the Eagles were out of it. There's no reason. No one wants to watch them
Steelers,
play.
Browns.
Yeah, Steelers, Browns. But the Steelers, Browns. Like if the Dolphins lost, weren't the Browns in automatically?
Yeah, and the Steelers weren't playing their starters.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
The Rams and Cardinals
was
were
still
teams
a
that
good
both
game.
needed to win.
Yeah.
Steelers Browns game was great, and it's not relevant, but yeah, my take on this is, I don't know, this guy Doug Peterson. I mean, it seems like ever since they won the Super Bowl, he's been kind of like fucking up over and over again. I know they made the playoffs last year, but they weren't a good team by any stretch of the imagination. And they had a good quarterback, a quarterback playing at an MVP level, and he completely regressed down to being straight up benched for a rookie quarterback. And then they put in the rookie who's been playing very well, and then Doug Peterson, like on the national stage, like you said, Richard, on national television, just benches pretty much all the guys that want to be out there playing and competing. So it's just not a good look. It's really not a good look for the league. I'm not gonna come on here and say like it's a disgrace to the game. Like I care that much. Like teams do this all the time, but it's just like you just look like an asshole.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like I feel like in like a month from now, a year from now, next season, like is anybody really gonna care that this happened? Some people seem to think yes. I know. What's it called? On the K show today, they're talking about like now all this pressure is on this number 6 pick. Like if he's not good because they tanked to get the number 6 pick. Like I don't think it's that
people already
big
don't
of a
care
deal
about this.
It's just gonna be a story. It's gonna be a story that gets brought up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends how the Eagles come out and play next year. If they come out and they're a terrible team, and Doug Peterson completely lost the team, which it looks like it's on its way, and it sounds like guys were upset about it anyway. So that's not a good look at all.
That's the issue.
That is the issue. Yeah, but if they come out next year and they win games, winning heals all. But I think that's all you have to wait for. And yeah, it sucks. That's why on national television, when people see that happen, it's bad for the league. They still had amazing ratings, so it doesn't matter. And like it sucks for the Giants fans, whatever.
Honestly, though, like I think
he was also playing bad.
I'm not gonna defend what Doug Peterson did. I think it's like kind of whack, but the only reason this is a story is because of the response from Giants players and Joe Judge. If they didn't completely freak out about it on Twitter and in that presser, this is a non-story.
I don't agree with that. Everybody was saying it from the beginning. They're intentionally
the Giants players were saying it.
Everyone was. They were saying
Steelers
it on the
did it too.
broadcast. Oh,
It
come
happens
on
all
with
the time.
Steelers. Don't give me the Steelers.
Teams
and the
tank
Chiefs.
all the. We talk about tanking all the time. Then one team purposely loses, and it's holy shit.
It's because the Giants didn't make the playoffs,
teams
so that
don't
everyone's pissed.
intentionally lose. Coaches don't make moves like that. It doesn't happen.
Well,
Who tanks in the NFL?
He's not coaching for his job, so it doesn't matter.
Well, he should be because he just lost the locker room.
I think
all these players that are coming out
oh my
saying
God.
they didn't like the move.
Didn't
Miles
lose the
Sanders.
locker room.
Miles Sanders came out and said a lot of players had problems with it. Jalen Hurts on the sideline, you can see him shaking his head and saying under his breath.
Jalen Hurts knew he was going to come out of the game.
Jalen Hurts
He knew
also played
before
like
the
shit.
game that he was
7 for 20 for 70 yards and a
gave him a
pick.
better chance than Nate Sudfeld to win the game.
I think honestly the biggest mistake was that he did it in the fourth quarter. He should have just done it like halftime or something.
Yeah,
like
he shouldn't have started Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he should have just not played at all.
It just
Something
was
like
so
that.
obvious that they were.
But he
intentionally
also
trying
like
to lose.
look. And
that doesn't happen.
I think
No
it
one
was the wrong move. I think it was a bad look, wrong move.
Why? When
but
Greg Williams ran an all-out
He
blitz,
got fired the next day.
he did.
he was coaching for his job.
What does that have to do with anything? That wasn't an intentional
Doug Peterson
way to
doesn't
lose.
care. He doesn't care about the salty ass players that are going to be off the team next year. Miles Sanders is good.
Those are two completely.
Miles
different
Sanders is he's gonna show up to training camp. He's gonna play well because he's on a rookie deal or whatever, and nobody cares about this.
You think that locker room chemistry doesn't matter if the coach doesn't?
I don't
if
think
the
they
players
give a
don't respect
fuck.
the coach.
Of course, they respect the coaches.
Look,
They won a
obviously,
Super Bowl 3 years ago.
Different, standards here, but Bill Belichick benches their best defensive player in the Super Bowl and they lose, and they won the Super Bowl like 2 years
There's
later.
more to the story to that, though. There was something going on.
Yeah, I get it, but it's like
There's
guys
a
get pissed
disciplinary
about
reason.
stuff, whatever, and they move on. If they're gonna go into camp next year, if attitude's different, if Doug Peterson's coaching well and things are going well, nobody will care. Everyone will take away their 6th draft pick.
Well, whatever. The draft picks.
The only reason it's a story is because the Giants are crying.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it has anything to do with the Giants. It's a story because the Eagles players are fucking
It
upset
was a story during the game. They were posting the
Of course, that's relevant
Giants
to
players.
share.
They were posting the Giants players' tweets.
Yeah, that's relevant to show on the
The only
broadcast.
thing that made it. That's the only thing that made it a conflict.
No, So a team intentionally trying
Tell
to
the
lose a
fucking
football
Giants
game.
to win more than 6 games.
Oh my God, the two of you cannot stop bringing up
But
the
it's
Giants.
all right. Look, I get
The
what
reason why it's a story.
No, it's not. The
They
team
shouldn't,
is
like-
intentionally losing a game. That doesn't happen.
It's tough because like you're right, but also at the same time, like them going out there and complaining, what am I witnessing right now? Are they serious? What's going on? It's just like you fucked yourself over
It would also
in the
it makes
first place.
sense that they would be upset. Like,
Of course,
should be
but
upset,
like
but
they're
that's
making
not
a
the
whole
problem.
like attention thing about it. Like it did happen. It is what it is. You didn't in the end. You didn't do enough to get
I
in.
can't talk about the Giants. It's not my argument.
That's not the okay. It's not the point. But I see what Alex is saying. Like in the end, they didn't do what they had to do to get in. So like, shut up.
Did you hear what Jason?
I
Kelce
bet
said?
you.
Yeah, he was
bet you-
pissed.
Yeah, he was very pissed.
Yeah, no, they were not. He looked pissed on the sideline.
Yeah.
He said like a few weeks ago something about how important winning is,
Yeah.
even when you're bad or whatever. But he's not going to be on the team probably, and neither is Ertz, and neither is Wentz, and neither are probably a lot of them.
Good. Clear out all your veteran leadership. All your
They
good
have to.
players.
They have no. They
Good. It's nice that Doug Peterson managed to fucking piss off Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts in the same season. That's really good.
okay. Carson Wentz sucks.
Jalen Hurts would literally do anything for Doug Peterson. He's literally playing on a rookie contract, trying to like make it in the NFL. I don't think tomorrow
Probably
he does
hates
not give a fuck about this.
Probably hates him.
Cares if he hates him. What choice does he have?
I bet you they'd pick Jalen Hurts over Doug
What is he
Peterson
gonna do?
if they had to.
What is he gonna do? Hold out?
That's not the point.
He has
You
like
don't
yeah,
wanna
he has
have
like no
fucking
standing in this
controversy in the
situation.
locker room. That's not the point. If you have to suck it up,
And
people can get
you're-
unhappy and it causes problems.
This is you're the same person that says, "Oh, like you can't tank, you can't." If you're like on the field, you can't tank, but the people above the coach and the players on the field can tank. What's the difference?
This, you know what this reminds me of
Peterson
a
is
little.
basically an executive on the team. His carte blanche.
When this it's
He's
like completely
losing that
different, but
fast.
also like some people are speculating he might have been told by higher ups to do whatever, like put
sure he
Sudfeld in
was.
if you think.
Yeah.
Remember when
Whoever's-
everyone
whoever's
was saying how the manager of whoever was in the World Series took all the hits for taking out the pitcher when it was probably being told by everyone else to do it? It could be something
All right,
like that.
I mean, whatever. If that's the case, it's whoever's decision it is who I have the problem with. So it doesn't matter if it's Peterson.
I'm just saying, we're talking about losing the locker
So you're
room. People
against
upset with
tanking
Peterson,
now?
this and that.
When you weren't
blatant
against
tanking like
tanking
that?
2 weeks ago.
No. Blatant fucking tanking like that. That's not how. Like, you never see that in the NFL. It's a 3-point game in
Well,
the second
what
quarter.
about-
They
Oh,
just
so it's
tap
just the
out.
optics.
And people
It's just
want
the
to.
fact that
it is the
it's just
optics because
just
that's
the
how it
fact that
affects
it
the
be-
players on the team.
What about the Jaguars? Minshew is clearly better than Mike Glennon, and they just always were like, nope, it's Glennon. Like that's fucking
fucked up.
tanking.
I said that's fucked up. we've had conversations that's fucked up, and the players are probably pissed about it too. Minshew obviously gave them the best chance to win.
Oh. But no one cares because it's for the number 1 pick and not the number
That's
6 pick.
also more understandable. It is.
But what they want a better pick. It's an NFL draft pick. It's number
They
6.
then don't start Jalen Hurts. It's fine. Like I would have been more okay with that.
The Giants players would have cried just as much.
Fuck the Giants, dude. Fuck the Giants. I don't care.
Joe Judge was probably watching film during the game, like he said. I'm surprised he knew the outcome.
That
probably
was
was
a
so
great
happy.
fucking soundbite by him. He's 100,000% right.
He
Because
kinda-
he wasn't even talking about the Giants. He was saying that all those fucking Eagles.
I would
players that
never
went-
do that because I'm 6-10 and fighting for a playoff spot.
Was that the quote? I missed that one.
That's what he
He
meant.
was talking about the Eagles players that sacrificed everything all season and went through all this COVID protocols to be there and to
He would
play
have
hard
no
and
idea.
sacrifice everything. What do you mean he had no idea what they? It's
Play
a team,
hard
all the
for
players
what?
Went through everything.
Play hard for
same-
what? What are they playing hard for
Their
in that
next
game?
fucking career. You think that I don't know the receivers are Siegel Whiteside or the whatever?
So because
that Greg-
Nate
Greg
Sudfeld
Ward-
played in the 4th quarter of the
Does it
meaningless
matter
Week
if our
17
Arcega Whiteside
game.
is mad? He sucks.
Yes, he's playing for a fucking contract and he's pissed off because now he has Sudfeld.
He
in the
wasn't
game.
playing for a contract the first 16 weeks of the year.
Of course he was.
It's
But
16
he
weeks and 3 quarters.
He does. So what? He sucks. You have guys that are out there trying to win football games, and you have a coach spitting in their face saying, "I want to lose this game." And
No,
that's fucked
because
up. It's fucked up.
Okay, well, if the problem is that he did it in the fourth quarter, or whatever, so late in the game when it was in reach, they don't have enough tape from 16 games in 3 quarters. This fourth quarter is going to make or break their next contract.
No, it's not. But it's still just like, why are they even out there? Like, why am I going out there trying to fucking catch passes over the middle, risking my life when the coach is just like, fuck this. We're just going to.
Because you played horrible for 16 games, and
That's not right.
Hurts was out there. You heard Peterson.
Oh yeah.
They were all out there except
They were all out there. He almost had me for a second there. I almost went for it, and I do like.
Hey, you flip-flopped 92 times.
Because hey, listen, new information comes in. It was very fresh, very new. I was still forming my opinion, and
I bet your dad's upset about it.
yeah, he was pissed. He was pissed.
Don't let Russ get in your head now, Brodsky.
Listen, I'm happy the Giants didn't make the playoffs because he's a Giant fan.
You're just as mad.
While the Nets are winning by 40.
What Peterson was saying, and listen, maybe him and Sudfeld are boys, and he's just like, you know what, you've been here for 4 years.
That's what he said.
You deserve some snaps. But like,
I'm going to go with it probably wasn't Peterson's call.
I don't know. Whose ever call it was.
Whoever's call it was, they should have just not played Hurts the entire game.
Yes.
Whatever, they messed up. And you know what? I hope the Eagles are good next year, so everyone can shut the fuck up.
That won't happen.
I think the Giants will be the worst team in the division next year again.
Wow, I'm so surprised that you think that.
They are the worst team. Maybe the Eagles might be worse, but
They're all equally shit. Any one of them.
Dak on the Cowboys, they'll be much better. The football team. If they can,
Right,
you know.
we don't need to do an NFC East preview.
They're the worst team. Shut your mouth.
You know that.
Yeah,
you
they
know who the
all
worst
suck.
team next year is. It's ridiculous.
That's my Can you put a bet in for me? $50. Giants coming fourth in the
I'll
NFC
take you
East.
up on that.
All right. Well, I guess we can move on to something else.
Another shitty quarterback. The Miami Dolphins had one job this weekend, and that
So
was,
you admit he was shitty in the
We'll
game,
get
so he
to it.
deserved to
We'll
get
get to
benched.
it. Well, no, talking Nate Sudfeld.
Oh, okay. Thought you were talking about Jalen.
I mean, he was obviously shitty in the game. He's 7 for 21 with like 70
yeah,
yards.
so he got benched. He sucks.
No, there wasn't a benching. Tua and the Dolphins had one job on Sunday. Beat the Bills, who played Matt Barkley in the second half, and you're in the playoffs. And, man, I like Tua coming out of college, and I'm not throwing him out. There's speculation of the Dolphins picking a quarterback. I'm not going to agree with that.
The GM said that he's the starter.
Quarterback. They fucking said that about Josh Rosen. It doesn't mean shit.
No, but it was different.
It was different, of course.
He's our guy right now. Like they say shit like that.
He's on the roster.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen is a Cardinal.
Like honestly, today after what Joe Douglas said about Darnold, they're taking Fields easily.
Yeah.
He was like, "Well, we like Sam, but we got decisions to make."
But listen, he was very underwhelming in that game, and he kind of was similar to that all season. And Miami kind of just blew their chance there.
They got smacked.
They got destroyed.
What is it? Is the play calling more conservative when he's in, or is he just not throw the ball downfield?
That's the question. Like the offense is obviously on training wheels when he's in the game, but I don't know if it's because they're forcing that onto him, or if he's just not doing it himself, or if they don't think he's ready for it. Like that's internal stuff. But Chan Gailey is getting a lot of heat that people don't want him to be fired, the offensive coordinator of the Dolphins. But there's something going on there for sure.
He's had a weird career as a play caller, that guy.
Chan Gailey?
Yeah, he's real up and down. He just only can work with Fitzpatrick, is what it is.
That's
He
funny.
was like wasn't he the head coach of Buffalo
Wow.
I think he was.
when Fitzpatrick was there?
So he's had him on 3 different
And
teams
then he was the
in
year.
the AFC East.
Yes. Then he was the year that Fitzpatrick went off on the Jets. That was Chan Gailey, and now he's
That's fucking hilarious, actually.
He just loves Fitzpatrick. Is that why they hired him? Because Fitzpatrick was on the team?
It must have something to
I don't
do
know. I never like when the Jets had him. Like I never had a problem with the plays. I honestly liked him as a coordinator. It was just like Fitzpatrick sucked that second year, and then they fired him. So I don't know. It could be too much training wheels. Everyone always wants to blame the OC instead of the.
So that's the thing, because obviously you have Dolphins fans who don't want to blame Tua, and they're going to just scapegoat anyone around him. For right now, they still love Tua, and they want him to be good. But you don't know if it's legitimate or not. It could be, but...
Yeah, that was 3 picks. I know 2 of them were tipped, though, right?
I don't know.
Whatever it was, he didn't look great. I know we actually, Alex, I don't know if you were on that train as well. We didn't want Miami to be out of all those teams on that list. Like I thought Miami deserved it the least.
Yeah, I agree.
They have a lot. They have a bright future there. They have so many. They have the 3rd overall pick because of the stupid. They are fucked. The Texans. They are so fucked. They're like negative cap space. They have no 1st and 2nd round picks. They have no good players. They hired the GM from the Patriots, but
he's walking into a fucking shit hole.
Yeah, if he can turn that around,
I think you're right, Richard. Like, it's his first year. He came in halfway through the season. It's not like they have all the pieces in place around him to be a good team, and they were almost there. They have a lot of draft capital to use to like put a supporting cast around him, similarly to the way like the Bills put a good supporting cast around Josh Allen, and young quarterbacks need help. That being said, yeah, he didn't look amazing, but year 1 to year 2 could be a big learning process for him. I don't think it's time to put the nail in the Tua coffin. It's still very early.
Of course, and he's really not working with much. Like you mentioned it, they don't have the best support system.
It's also, I want to say, like a quarterback like Fitz, like probably one of the better backups in the league. He was like more than serviceable being in there. It's not like it's tough to compare like a rookie to a pretty decent veteran quarterback.
15-year veteran,
and he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he's gonna go out there and just throw the ball all over.
He's also one of the most likable players in the league.
And it's just like he has that mentality, like you're saying, Matt. Like he's just gonna throw the ball up, and when it works, it's like holy shit, Fitz. But then there's the Fitz tragic where it, everything goes shitty. So you shouldn't model your game after that. But like you got to take a chance.
Listen, their O line is not great.
They're gonna get Sewell.
Devontae Parker's been in and out of the lineup basically his whole career. It feels like. Preston Williams was out for the year. They need Sewell, maybe.
Myles Gaskin, who was like pretty solid, missed some time.
Yeah, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
He looks pretty good. Really but good. Yeah, I mean, coming into the year, you're not touting Myles Gaskin.
No.
They need to use those picks to build up around Tua and then give him a fair shot. I mean, like you said, Alex, he played half the season just about. People calling him a bust and saying to draft another quarterback and get rid of him, like.
No, that would be stupid.
You can't do that every year. I know for the Cardinals with Kyler Murray, they did that, but it was a new GM and a new head coach. Like they weren't tied to that pick.
Terrible.
They were terrible. Josh Rosen was way worse than Tua was, and they weren't winning games. Like Tua is at least game managing them to a bunch of wins in the middle of the season there. But you can't just waste a 5th round pick like that, a 5th overall pick like that, and not even give him a fair shot.
Yeah. I mean, if you really like someone at 3, then, I mean, do your due diligence. But like, there's a reason that GM and that coach loved Tua Tagovailoa, and took him last year at number 5. Mm-hmm. So do your due diligence, and if there's somebody that impressive to you that you want to bail on, who you like spent a whole offseason scouting and then picked last year, then, I mean, I guess it's a sunk cost at that point. But I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even, if that did happen, it's not even like a full, like 5th overall sunk cost. Like you can get, like some team would trade for Tua, and you get a 2nd or a 3rd or something. So But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's what they should do. But, yeah, Miami, the future is definitely bright.
Yeah, they're going to – oh, God damn it. The Bills, the Dolphins.
Well, you just have to pray Tua is actually bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the capital too, but we just – now we got to wait. Is Fields going to be good? Is Wilson, whoever, going to be good? We got to wait and find out. Like, so annoying. Be good now.
Yeah. It sucks when you don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. Ugh, fucking Gase, man. I hate that guy.
Yeah. Not everyone can go from Rivers to Herbert.
Yeah, exactly. But you can go from Donald to Mariota. All right. I guess the last. Did we want it? Were we going to talk about the Wolford Bowl or no? Did we do that already?
We touched on that.
Did we do that already? Oh, because I lost.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the Rams. I think we're good on that. All right, this is a playoff preview episode, ladies and gentlemen. For the
exciting weekend
for the
of
first
football.
time ever, you have 3 games on Saturday and Sunday.
That's awesome.
It's fucking fantastic.
What time's the first game?
It's 1, 4:30, and 8:30, like each day.
Wow.
They're just evenly spread out.
They should just let the teams keep playing every week.
But yeah, there's a lot of intriguing matchups here, and we have Memo playoff brackets for the 3 of us that we're gonna be posting for our picks for the entire playoffs. Maybe we'll make a little competition out of it, or do something fun, or just make Alex wax his chest. But there's a lot of games, and we'll just get to the slate here. Right? We'll just go right into it, unless anyone has something else beforehand.
Good. Did my research.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I haven't thought about a single game. No, I'm kidding.
I believe you. That's how you approached each week.
And I still only lost by 2 games.
2 games. Okay, so we'll just go down the...
How did I not come in last year?
I was a joke last year.
You were really far behind, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was even close. All right, we'll go in order of the games, and then each give our picks. We're starting fresh here.
Throw it in there now on the record. For next year, we should do every week what we did the last week. We should send our picks, and then you can't listen to everyone say why, and then be like, you know what, that's a good point.
Yes.
I'm not against it, but I mean, we weren't really picking strategically against each other. I feel like that wasn't...
No, not even. It's just when you hear, I feel like even myself, when I would hear you guys say your points, why you're picking someone, I'd be like, that's a good point.
Isn't that valuable to know, though?
It is, but I shouldn't just change it on the spot.
It would also... All right, it would also force us to do our research beforehand instead of
we really love pulling back the curtain on this show and talking about stuff that does not need to reach the air. But
people need to know.
Listen, we're just doing it on the fly here. Yeah, if anyone has suggestions of what we should do, let us know. All right,
we got a whole year.
Also thinking about a new name for the podcast.
Suggestion box.
We already tested out new people. We got Igal on. That was an experiment. All right.
Okay.
To the picks.
To the picks here. The opening game is going to be the Indianapolis Colts coming in at the 7 seed, going up against the number 2 Buffalo Bills. Probably the hottest team in football right now, Buffalo, I would say.
Yeah, they're playing real well. It sucks.
Who wants to start us off?
So what? Buffalo and
Indy.
Damn, that sucks for you, Matt.
My feeling is that we'll probably all have the same picks here, but I think the Buffalo Bills are just a force to be reckoned with. They're just clicking on all cylinders right now, and I don't have it in me to pick against them. I think the Colts are a solid team, but I just simply don't think they're as good as Buffalo with the way they've been playing over the last 10, 11 games. So I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It sucks. I thought the Colts maybe could have snuck a win in the playoffs if they, ended up with a better matchup. But the Bills' offense just has too much firepower, and Stephon Diggs is just you can't cover the guy, and their defense is playing better. And I don't know. I mean, hey, maybe Jonathan Taylor, back-to-back 250 weeks, and you keep the ball away from Josh Allen. But I just don't see it. So I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I guess that would be the way to beat them.
Yeah. If you dominate time of possession, which is so important for the playoffs, especially, just like.
Hey, that's how the Titans got to an AFC chip.
Yep.
And we all know Jonathan Taylor is just as good as Derrick Henry.
So that would be the key to the game for the Colts. And if you can find a way to keep the Bills' offense in check. I mean, this is a team, the Bills, they really don't have a run game. Singletary and Moss are just like super average backfield, that, like at best. But just the second half of the season, these Bills, they scored 44, 30, 27, 48, 38, 56, 34. I mean, this is like ridiculous numbers. Like over 30.
They went 13-3, but they're like one Hail Murray away from 14-2, which is insane to think about.
That's a good point. Yeah, they could have finished the season on like a fucking 12-game win streak here.
Yeah.
But, they are just firing on all cylinders. I can't pick the Colts here as much as I love Phillip Rivers and would like to see them make a run. I have to go with Buffalo. And, listen, we're going to get to this. I'm not going to put all my cards on the table now in a potential Bills-Chiefs matchup. But, I mean, the Bills might be the team to beat in the AFC. They are just so fucking electric. And their defense is definitely pretty good, too. So, I mean, they are... if I'm the Chiefs, I'm pretty scared right now.
We'll see. We'll see if they got to get there first.
If it happens, then I just hope the Chiefs don't think they're gonna roll over them.
Yeah, they're the 2 seed, so it would have to be in the AFC chip.
And the Bills do have so much firepower, and I'm not expecting the Colts to keep up, but it's not like as lopsided of a matchup when you look into it. The Colts can dominate the time of possession if their O-line's on their game and they're running the ball well. Rivers still, he's not what he was, but he still can get it done. Yeah. And their defense is good.
I think it'll be close. I think it'll probably be a 1-score game.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't
Josh
think so.
Allen just can find a way to get it done. There you go. All right.
You just have a mic in front of you. That's what, Egal last week, we just had a mic in his face, and he wasn't recording audio with it because we just had it for show.
Okay. Next game we'll go to, the Saturday afternoon game, which we were in big danger of missing because we just have this obsession with ice skating that we just couldn't resist during Wild Card weekend. But that's neither here nor there. The 3-seed Seattle Seahawks are hosting the number 6 Los Angeles Rams in a rematch of, I think it was just 2 weeks ago. And I believe these teams split the regular season matchups.
They did.
Okay. Rich?
What were the Seahawks? 12-4?
Yeah.
Surprising, because they suck. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks because of the uncertainty around Goff. And even if he does play, is it his throwing hand, the thumb?
Yes.
Yeah, that's no good. I don't know. I don't want to take the risks if we're doing these brackets. I'm gonna play it safe and take the Seahawks. And the Rams, even with Goff lately, were struggling a little bit.
They were.
They lost to the Jets and, ruined our entire season. So that wasn't good for them. And, I just can't. I can't. I don't know if Goff's going to play, so I have to take the Seahawks.
I'll go. I'm gonna. This is a really tough one. Obviously, the uncertainty around Goff is a big deal. But Seattle is such a weird team.
So weird.
They are the most up and down. They're so inconsistent throughout the season and within an actual game, too. This past week against the 49ers, I know it ultimately didn't mean anything. I guess they could have jostled, the 2 seed from the Saints, or they had, an outside chance of the 1 seed, technically. But they were playing because Pete Carroll is a self-respected man and he doesn't, pull starters. But they had 9 points against the Niners, and like the offense was doing nothing until the fourth quarter. They turned it on, and Russell Wilson does his thing, and they scored 14 unanswered points and won the game.
Did they let him cook?
He got outplayed by Beathard.
Yeah, until the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but in the playoffs they usually tend to just like get a game. They at least win a game typically. But I feel like this Rams team.
Jalen Ramsey is so good.
He locked DeAndre Hopkins pretty well.
I saw a list of the receivers he locked this year. There was one name that I've never seen in my life. I was like, why would you even put him on the list? Like,
what was
it was like I've never seen the receivers. It was like 0 catches, 0 yards for Tyler McSorley or something. Like literally has never played.
It's funny.
He's really filthy.
Yeah. So
Metcalf slowed down a little bit.
Because the whole Seahawks offense slowed down.
Yeah.
Wilson completely fell off his MVP stretch that he was on. He's still obviously great, but I'm going to go with the Rams because I feel like the key to the victory here is going to be the defense. And I think, as weird as it is to say, the ceiling on offense with the Rams is not going to be much higher with Jared Goff the way that he's been playing as it would be with John Wolford. So I don't know that's not going to affect my pick that much. I feel like it's going to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think the Rams can do enough to squeeze it out.
Yeah, I think that last thing you said says enough about like the state of the Rams offense. The fact that John Wolford came in there and played like pretty serviceably and got them into the playoffs. Like basically says it all about how Jared Goff has been playing this second half of the year. With that being said, I'm taking the Seahawks. I completely agree that it always seems that the Seahawks just take one playoff game at least. I realize that they've slowed down on offense a little bit, but I do think that they're a much better offensive team than the Rams are. And again, the uncertainty with Jared Goff being there, I'm going to play it safe and take the Seahawks. I would be more conflicted if I was very confident in like if Goff got the chance to play that he'd get in there and play well, but he's just been, I'm inconsistent at best in the second half of the year. More realistically, he's just been flat out bad. So I'm taking the Seahawks.
He's so weird, Goff. Like, because if he goes out, injury aside, like if that injury didn't happen and he still was struggling, and he went out and just like had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and they won, like you wouldn't be that surprised. Mm-hmm. But then you also like if he's terrible at this point, it's like I can see that too. So I don't know what's good there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Sometimes like he completes like 75% of his passes and they just win comfortably. And against
he
the
just
Seahawks
needs to,
secondary, he can do that.
Needs to be in the rhythm because he's kind of like a pocket statue type player. Like he's not very mobile. Mm-hmm. He doesn't move on the run. So if things like aren't clicking that well on offense, he doesn't make a lot happen outside of like the structure. So maybe that's what it is, but. I want to know how John Wolford ended up to being their backup. Like, what? Like,
how did they feel comfortable with that?
Like, how was he on the Jets during training camp and then ended up the Rams' backup? Did someone get hurt?
Sean McVay's son, obviously. You see the way they look.
They do look alike, but like, did they not have someone else? Did someone else get hurt? Like,
they had Blake Bortles last year. I feel like he would be a better option. No.
Yeah. I know. Wolford's about to start a playoff game.
I think Bortles is now back on the Rams on the practice squad.
Wasn't he on Denver?
He was on Denver, yeah. I think they brought him back when Goff got hurt. If we can get a little Bortles action on Sunday, I would feel a lot better about my pick.
That would be funny as fuck.
It'd be hilarious.
Came in and
he just is like, and there's Blake Bortles once again. Listen, all he does is win playoff games, so we'll see what happens. But moving along, We have you two on the Seahawks. I'm on the Rams. The night game is the Washington football team going up against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Washington will be home for this game, as we must point out.
Wow, that's crazy.
Matt, you started off.
Yeah, listen, it would be funny, it would be exciting, and I would be very happy to see Washington win this game, but I don't see how that is possible. I know that people are sucking off the fucking Bucs and saying, oh, Brady looks so good, he's threw 40 touchdowns, he's got 8 touchdowns in the past 2 games. Yeah, you, Richard. No, the 40 touchdowns is good, but the last 2 weeks...
I feel like the way we were talking about him, like mid-season, I'm shocked he has 40 touchdowns. That's one of his, like, if you look at it, it's like one of his best seasons ever.
Yes, the 40 touchdowns is very impressive, and his deep ball has been significantly better as of late. I know because we spent some time talking about how terrible he was during that stretch with throwing it deep. But it's 2 weeks against the Lions and the Falcons.
Falcons, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yes. Yeah. Which is, whatever. It is what it is. They were getting right. They're hot at the right time. They seem like they put things together. So I don't really see a way for Washington to keep up with them on the scoreboard. I'm sure that, after seeing on Sunday night how just terrible Alex Smith is when there's anybody in his face, and obviously he has no mobility and he can't really evade anything. So if you're Todd Bowles, you just fire up the blitz and just send the house at him as often as possible. They have a good front seven with Shaq Barrett, JPP, Levante David, Devin White. Like, those guys will get to Alex Smith. So I think that the Bucs are going to win comfortably. The only way that this game gets a little bit close is if the equally as good Washington front seven can get to Tom Brady. But I expect the Bucs to be able to get to it.
Yeah, if Antonio Brown is starting to click, then this Bucs team in the playoff. Yeah, he had 11 receptions, 140 yards, and like it was Atlanta last game of the year, whatever. But they all seem to be clicking. Hopefully Evans is all right. But yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay as well, obviously. I wouldn't want to see them lose because I want to see Rodgers Brady in the NFC chip. That'd be awesome. Is that possible? They're not going to play second round, right?
They would, if the Seahawks and Saints win.
Then they would play.
Then it's Packers-Bucks. Fuck. Listen, we'll take that if we can get it. Like the more rounds you wait, the more time there is for someone to get upset.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what happened last year with the Packers-Saints. Like,
that's
true. Let that game happen.
And the Ravens-Chiefs.
Yeah, let the game happen wherever it happens.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I'd love to see that. I'm taking the Bucs. Washington's ground game is pretty good, but the front seven of the Bucs is also very, very solid. So that's what I thought was the only way that they'd win the game is if they eat up a lot of time of possession, and Antonio Gibson has a good game, but I think they'll do a good job of stopping him and they'll win comfortably.
Yeah, I feel like this game is either going to go like a complete ugly shit show, like where if Washington's defense can step up and make it kind of like the Giants-Bucks game recently, or the Bucs just roll and beat them like 31-10.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the latter. I don't think Washington's offense is going to get anything going against the Bucs, and Washington's defense is good, but if they're out there for 75% of the game, they're gonna Tom Brady's gonna find a way to beat them bad.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about the Eagles-Washington game. Aside from the Philly fiasco, Washington was begging to lose that game. Like, if Jalen Hurts stayed in, I think that they would have fucking won that game. Like, the offense was terrible.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still hurt, Smith.
He's constantly hurt.
Yeah, because you just had the calf strain, so he's probably not.
He's not 100%, or he's not even 50% when he is 100%.
Yeah.
But listen, great story for Washington. Good for them. Good for Alex Smith. But this is probably where it ends.
Yeah.
Worth noting, though, the last two teams to make the playoffs at 7-9 did win their first game.
The last two teams, you said?
Yeah, the Seahawks, and there was someone before that they also won.
Interesting. I changed my pick.
You also factor the being at home probably helps them, and then Washington won't have fans this
Yeah.
time around. So I don't know. A lot of going into that, but the Bucks. Okay, on to Sunday. Now we have the first game on Sunday. This is going to be my pick for game of the weekend. You have the number 4 Tennessee Titans going up against the Baltimore Ravens in Tennessee.
I guess it's my turn to go first, right?
Yes, sir.
This was the game I definitely spent the most time looking into, because I agree with you. I think it's such a good matchup. Rematch of last year, obviously. Also rematch of game earlier this season, of which the Titans took both of these games. Ravens are on a roll. I think they've won their last 6 games. Lamar Jackson, I mean, they had this whole stretch of the season, or maybe just a couple of weeks there, where they were dealing with a lot of COVID, and a lot of people were, watching them struggle pretty hard. But they look like the Ravens of old now. And the Titans are no slouch themselves. They won the AFC South. I think they've won 5 of their last 7 games. Just pretty similar team as last year. And it looks like Derrick Henry has taken like another step, which is incredible because he was already pretty great last year. This is a really tough one. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be really exciting. I think there's going to be a lot of rushing yards in this game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm taking the Titans at home. It seems like the Titans have the Ravens number. I ultimately, this can't be my pick, but I think the game is probably going to go to whoever gets off to the best start and has the best first half. I just think that's going to be the Titans. Derrick Henry in the wild card game last year ran all over the Ravens. Earlier this season ran all over the Ravens. I think he had like 191 yards last year and like 150 something this year. He looks like a man possessed. I don't think they're going to slow him down. I know they're technically a top run defense, but in terms of just total yardage allowed, but they do give up a lot of yards per carry. And I think the Titans are going to take advantage. I know Lamar Jackson looks like the Lamar Jackson of old, but we still have yet to see that Lamar Jackson show up in a playoff game. And I just don't think – I don't have any reason to believe that it's just going to magically happen this week. These last 6 games, they've had a pretty, cupcake schedule that they've been able to take advantage of. I think the Titans are the better team and more suitable for a deep playoff run than the Ravens are. So I'm taking the Titans again.
I wanted to take the Ravens, but for a lot of the same reasons Alex listed, I think the Titans are just like a more well-rounded team. The Ravens probably have the better defense, but I don't know. Lamar has still, even in these games where, they're beating these bad teams, like he's just not passing the ball very well. And, they do run the ball much more than they try to pass it. So, that factors into the yardage, statistics and all that. But I don't know. I don't see any way a team stopping Derrick Henry right now. And even Tannehill looks really good at the same time. So, it's not just the one-man show there. And I don't know. This year, the last 3 I was saying before the Ravens even played these last few games, because we were talking about the Browns and they could possibly not make it if they lose to the Steelers and all this. And I was like, the Ravens play the Giants, the Bengals, and someone else. Who'd they play? The
Jaguars.
The Jaguars, yeah, like the worst teams in the league, and I don't think they're as good of a team as the Titans this year. The first game did go into overtime,
yeah.
So that's something to take note of. But
one thing I forgot I should mention, just so I don't seem like an idiot, is the Titans' defense is awful, and I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. I don't have enough faith in Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to take advantage of that. And I think Willie Snead's out, and he might be their best receiver. So, tough loss for them.
Yeah, good points on both sides, and I've been going back and forth with this all week. And I didn't think that we'd be here with me being the only one to take the Ravens, but I'm gonna take Baltimore. The schedule, because they do look like they're hot at the right time. They're clicking. They're the old Ravens and all that. The schedule is concerning, like Richard mentioned. They played the Cowboys, the Jaguars, the Giants, and the Bengals, with the Browns game in there, which was a great game.
And he still didn't throw for. He threw for like 180 yards, Lamar. I know you're not talking just about Lamar, but like.
Yeah, he threw for 163 and a touchdown against the Browns, and they still scored 47 points. Yeah.
Shit his pants.
How did they score in that game?
He ran for like 130 also.
Oh, okay.
He was slipping all over to start, and then he changed his cleats.
Yep. So that's concerning. Like, you see 5 wins in a row. They've scored 34, 47, 40, 38. It looks great. The schedule is obviously the bottom of the barrel. But to what your point was, I just think the Titans' defense is putrid and embarrassing, and they just give up yards to everyone they play. I think Baltimore figured something out with the way that they run their offense again. Earlier in the year, Lamar was attempting 25, 28, 37, 28, 34, 29 pass attempts. And then on this 5-game win streak, he's at 17, 17, 22, 18. So they went back to like what worked last year with the running the ball. They ran for 350 yesterday or Sunday against the Bengals. When the offense is clicking, it doesn't matter who they're playing against. They're going to be able to put up points, I think, at least. And they showed that even in a shootout with the Browns, who have say what you want about the Browns defense, it's better than Tennessee's, that they can still go back and forth with teams. So I'm going to take Baltimore, and I said this off the air that I'm going to fall for the same thing I fell for last year when we picked the Ravens over the Titans. And it could end up stabbing me in the back the same way because, like you said, Alex, if Tennessee gets out to an early lead again, it's definitely going to be tough for Baltimore to make it back. But I think that they're going to start hot, and I think that the game will be close throughout. And I think that Lamar gets it done.
I wouldn't be upset.
It's a very, very tight game.
Mm-hmm.
They're
definitely one of the better ones.
If anyone puts any stock into like the Vegas spread, they're 3-point favorites on the road, which was very surprising to me.
The Ravens are?
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, the Titans, everyone seems to, is really figured out that this defense is just terrible.
Yeah, but they're still winning games out there.
I mean, they've given up 35, 25, 40, 38, 26 the last couple of games. Yeah, they're winning. They're 3-2 in their last 5. I don't know.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say the loss to the Steelers, but I was thinking about the Colts.
Yeah, that was the Colts. But whatever. It could go either way. I think that whatever happens, it'll be a great game. But moving along to the Sunday afternoon game, this is the game that's going to be on Nickelodeon as well. Nickelodeon broadcast with the slime and the googly eyes, which I'm honestly so excited to see what that looks like.
It's going to be very
hilarious. You have the number 2 seed New Orleans Saints hosting the number 7 Chicago Bears. Somehow the Bears got in the playoffs.
Trubisky, man. He's the savior. They should keep him.
They might.
Still sucks.
Throw
should
him on
keep
the
him.
franchise tag.
Yeah. I'm not messing around. I'm taking the Saints. Why would you pick anyone else? Do I need to elaborate?
I am messing around. I'm going to take the Bears.
Really?
I'm going to take the Bears.
You don't think the Saints defense are going to...
choking in the playoffs.
They do.
I think that this is going to be a lot closer than people expect. The spread is like 10.
I don't know. I don't know if I can't trust Trubisky to show up in a playoff game against a good. Was it this past Sunday or 2 weeks ago? Like he made that terrible throw in the end zone. Like what do you like? And in the pressure of a playoff game, I just can't see him making the correct decisions.
Does Michael Thomas play anymore?
I think he does.
I think he quit.
I haven't heard his name in months.
Yeah, he got hurt again, I thought.
He did, but is he back for the playoffs? He was on IR.
Played against the Eagles last.
And then he was on. So then he missed 3 games.
Okay.
Which was the IR.
Drew Brees eager to reunite with well-rested Michael Thomas, so I assume that means he's coming back.
Okay. I think the X factor here is a little obvious. Khalil Mack, if he can just wreak havoc like he does, he has to break this game, and if the Bears defense is able to keep it low scoring, that's Mitch Trubisky territory. Just put up, 17, 20 points. Maybe you could be looking at a 20-17 victory here. That's the recipe. That's their avenue to win. I don't think they're going to outscore the Saints. It's going to be a defensive game. And when the Bears were 12-4, did they have a bye? Did they lose their first game? What happened? Did they win a playoff game with Mitch?
They lost.
In the first round, or
yeah,
they lost right away?
Pretty sure.
I think, yeah, you're right. The Eagles, because the Bears missed that field goal. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So that was when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right?
Yep. Yes. Pretty sure.
I feel like that. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Was Mitch a rookie?
Second season.
Okay. So it was 20.
But listen, I'm going to get a little frisky here, and I'm going to take Chicago. I think it would be funny to see, and I hope it happens. And the Saints love to do this. They drop disappointing games in the playoffs. They've done it like 3 years in a row now. And Drew Brees is a well-documented noodle. And if Mac can make him uncomfortable with those fucking 12 broken ribs that I don't believe healed overnight, he still must be feeling that a little bit. It could be a problem for the Saints offense.
Yeah. I'm not going to agree with Matt here. Look.
Listen, these picks don't mean anything now. There's no beer mile on the line. I'm just throwing shit at the wall.
Oh, you didn't know?
Hey, we have to have a better performance on our brackets than last year. We got a lot of shit for that.
So that's going to be on the two of you then.
I'm taking the Saints. I don't know where the Saints hate is coming from. The team went 12-4, and their Hall of Fame quarterback was out for 3 or 4 games.
Matt's not impressed.
That defense is still very good. I don't know if they lost anyone there. I don't believe they did. And yeah, I just don't see Mitch Trubisky tearing it up against them. They still have Alvin Kamara 2 games removed from a historic performance on Christmas Day. As long as Breeze is getting healthy.
Playing?
Yes, because they're playing on Sunday. As long as he clears the COVID protocols, which I assume he will. But yeah, I'm taking the Saints, man. And right. I don't understand where this hate is coming from, honestly. That this team's been great all year.
Their playoff history, they do this every year, and then they have a disappointing loss that nobody saw coming.
Okay.
Well, one of them was
I think it's too early for
Minnesota Miracle.
And the other one was the pass interference.
So they just got fucked. And that was what? In those were both after they won playoff games at that point.
Yeah, but last year they lost to the Vikings in the first round.
Yes, because the Vikings are filthy.
No, listen, I'm going off a hunch here. This is my Hail Mary.
Drew Brees does suck.
Okay.
The Bears defense could be a problem.
We'll see. All right, who's next?
So can Mitch Trubisky.
Also true. The last game on the slate for the weekend is a very interesting one. Within the memo and even with the news that's coming out every day, this is a very intriguing matchup. Rematch of last Sunday with a different quarterback, but the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 3 are hosting the number 6 Cleveland Browns. I'll start, I guess. I'll set the stage here. Cleveland is fucked. They are so fucked. They had 17 players on the COVID list, 2 starting offensive linemen, one being Joel Bitonio, 3 starting defensive backs, Denzel Ward.
They're all missing the game?
Bitonio and Ward, and there's like 10 or 11 guys that are still on the COVID list, so like they haven't been cleared yet. 2 starting linebackers, their backup tight end, Harrison Bryant, who has been a nice weapon for Baker Mayfield at times. So they have no idea who's playing for them right now. And then it goes beyond the field. You have Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, is already out. They have a defensive backs coach, offensive line coach, wide receiver coach, tight end coach, all out. And the special teams coach, Mike Pryfer, is head coaching this game. God damn, this is so fucked up. Like the Cleveland Browns, man.
They just can't make the playoffs and, get a break.
This is crazy.
I mean, the head coach is just ridiculous.
That's so
the players, whatever, obviously a big deal, but they're going to take away the head coach, the guy who's turned the team around finally after all these years.
He calls the plays, too.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
He's a good coach.
So this is quite the uphill battle for the Cleveland Browns. Luckily for them, they're playing against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that is limping its way into the playoffs.
Well rested,
but not impressive. I know they seem to have righted the ship in the second half against the Colts. I feel like that was more on a Colts collapse than it was on Pittsburgh hitting its stride. I'm not buying into that. I think that this is the same Steelers team that I have been complaining about for the past month and a half. This is not going to be an easy fucking task here for Cleveland. But I am still going to take the Browns because I pretty much have to at this point with my previous actions on the show. And I'm going to stick with it. I do believe that Cleveland can get it done. I think it's going to be an ugly game, low-scoring game. But I'm not wavering off of the fact that the Steelers suck.
I could see it being...
Honestly.
Wow, really? No. I could see it being... Oh, you're not.
Oh, whoa.
I could see it being an ugly, low-scoring game possibly. But if it's a close game, I think that's where you might see, the whole head coach missing.
That's a good point.
Factor in.
That could affect the outcome.
Yeah. Look, there's just too many things going wrong over there with the Browns, and... I think the Steelers are on the upswing here. I don't think that second half was a fluke. You don't just do that out of nowhere.
What? So one half of football.
Mason Rudolph slinging the rock too.
I didn't know. Okay, the Browns had.
Talk about a team that was begging to lose last week. That was the Browns.
Okay, I didn't know you and me would be in the secondary. Okay, Richard's coaching this Sunday. I mean, shit's different. Okay.
I'm talking about last week when they were fully.
Yeah, they had 17 guys out of the game. They had more starters out than they had more starters out than the Steelers did, except for the quarterback.
That isn't true.
100%
starters. The Steelers rested their entire starting teams.
I don't think that's true. I don't
think that's true either, honestly.
It might have. It probably was like pretty balanced out, aside from quarterback, at least.
Mike Tomlin's going to be out there, so.
Look, Bitonio is one of their best offensive linemen. If he's missing the game and another offensive lineman, I think that Steelers pass rush is going to get to Mr. Mayfield, and then with all the other turmoil going on there with players missing. I think it gives the Steelers a chance to, with their struggling offense, take advantage of their defense. And, they have gotten on a little bit of a roll. I don't actually think that one second half, changes their whole outlook on offense. But, they should be able to take advantage of backup secondary players. Ben's rested now. He took a week off. So hopefully he comes back looking good, ready to go. Maybe Juju, no more TikToks. He turned a corner there. Sorry, Alex. I don't know if you were about to say something, but
I'm just pulling up, not to continue an argument or anything, just because I was curious. The Steelers starters, it looks like on defense, mostly played. Minka played 100% of the snaps. Joe Hayden did not play. It was Joe Hayden was out. T.J. Watt was out. But yeah, they played. The receivers all played. It was basically just Big Ben resting.
Maybe Deontay Johnson will hold on to the ball.
Don't count on it.
I'm with you, Matt. I know it's been a few weeks since our argument about the Steelers, and it was looking good for you because they were really playing bad. But I can't see the Browns winning this game. It would be a miracle.
Yeah, it's so fucked, man. It could have been such a nice little
Callback.
Yeah. Do I get off the hook here at all?
Nope.
Nope. I mean, you could pick the Steelers if you really want to.
No, I can't. I don't think.
Oh, you're saying
that'd be right.
Are you saying get off the hook for your Steelers won't win a playoff game thing?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see this coming. They got the one fucking team that doesn't have a team.
That's true. And then they're gonna go to the AFC Championship.
Okay.
That's gonna be tough to do after losing your first game. All right, you both are on the Steelers, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I'm kind of just planting my flag on my previous statements and hoping that.
Hey, I like.
It would feel even better if this does still happen.
Yeah. No. Then then you get all the credit in the world, but. We'll see. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
Yes.
You guys will be ice skating for the first game now, or will you be back by then?
No, it's at 11 a.m. You're not going to come?
I'm not ice skating, I don't think. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to get because my dad wants to go snowboarding, whatever, but he wanted to go to Camelback. I'm trying to convince him to go to the place in New Jersey, like mad early, so we could shred, don't have to ice skate, come back, watch the games.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess that's our show. The three of us have to pack it up because we do have a flight to Cleveland. We're going to be on the sideline coaching that game. But that's about it for us, right?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. And the next time you see me, I will be suffering. So it's going to be fun.
The ship is almost here. It shipped out yesterday, I think.
Where's it coming from? Pocky?
An actual volcano.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time on the Memo, and thank you for tuning in.
Go Browns.